Welcome back to season 1 of Conversations, episode 5 with Helen King.
Hi.
Hi. So glad you're taking time with us. Today we're going to talk about companionship and solitude. Let me read to everyone what you wrote. I enjoy selective social interactions. I helped found Unity of Harrisburg and continue to be very active there. I regularly schedule me time. Being quiet is essential. I need people, but I also need alone time. So this is companionship and solitude. So I think these are great thoughts, but can you expand on determining when to interact and when not to? Because I know you've mentioned recently that you're saying no more often, frequently surprising people around you. Many of us are pulled in so many directions by others in our commitments. How can we find time in a busy world to carve out that me time that you hold so holy?
What does your life look like? And what do you want it to look like? And if you're here to have your life experience, that means that you should be in community, but it also means that you have things that only you can do. And so if you don't take time to realize these are the things that I am meant to do, you look at what a child does, and they automatically want to do the things that are right for them, that they're to express in this lifetime. And you have that innate energy, that innate push to do what you're to do. Some people may think that that's their vocation, and it may or may not be. That might be the way you earn sustenance to live, but you might be much more valuable on the golf course or at the bridge table, where you can interact individually with people and plant seeds and see if they grow. So in order to manifest my potential, I need to know what it is. And I also need to remember that the universe supports me 100%. And if I'm not feeling the support, or if I'm not recognizing and acting, I'm the one who has shut down from it. I'm the one who has shut the door. And it's important to get out of our own way. And if we allow other people to steal or take our time and energy and skills for their projects, then we don't have it for what only I can do. And so the alone time that we have gets you in touch with that.
I know that you've had challenges in your life. We've talked
Just a
about
few.
that, just a few. We've talked about some of those on our episodes here, and we've talked about those personally in the friendship that we have. You ever have a pity party? You ever just feel sorry for yourself?
Oh, it's sometimes, why do I have to do this? And then you commit to something, but you don't recognize the extenuating circumstances
I signed
that
up for
requires.
this.
Yes.
I signed up for this. I didn't sign up for this.
So I meant just this much, not this much.
Yeah. Oops.
So, however, if you're a responsible person, you'll see it through. And
What
so,
if you don't want to?
well, that's not. It's the ego that's doing that. It's your, quote, human aspect of yourself, not your spiritual aspect. Because you wouldn't be asked to do something if it wasn't important. And you may never see the full result. He who plants a tree loves others, because they may not ever get to sit in the shade. So I see us as planting seeds, thought seeds, that grow. Teaching a child the skills to clean and cook and shop and so forth, that serves them for the rest of their life and yours. So I knew that the freedom my children had would be my freedom too. And freedom is free of dominion. So we need to realize that yes, I have to do this now, but the results in the future are going to be wonderful. And the more I have the ability to care for every aspect of myself, the more confidence I have in myself. When I say I need people, I need the interaction.
Not necessarily someone individually.
No. If I have something to share, I need to have someone who wants it. Excuse me.
What about the people who feel they want to share intimately with someone else? They want someone special in their life, but they can't seem to find them.
Well, I was married for 25 years, and then I've been on my own for 45. And at first I started, quote, looking, putting myself in a place where I might find someone who was compatible.
How could you do that without a dating app like we have now?
Well, in the olden times we had ways of going to meetings and so on and so forth.
All the way back in the 80s or 70s, all the way back.
70s. So, and the people I met, most of them wanted me to take care of them. They wanted a cook and a housekeeper and a shopper and et cetera, and wanted me to live their life instead of mine. So I finally said, the person who I'm looking for is looking for me, and perhaps we'll find each other. Well, we didn't find each other. However, I know that I would not have made the investment in my personal growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that I made if I had been using part of my energies interacting with someone else on an intimate personal basis. So I won.
Sure.
I have a lot of good friends, both male and female, and at this stage of my life, I'd like a companion to do something with. Go to a movie or out for dinner or a cruise or whatever. But I'm not willing to give up independence to have that. And of course, I don't have many friends my age. They've gone someplace else.
Too many of us, it seems, are that we say we believe, oh, I'm being drawn to the person that I'm supposed to be with, and they're drawn to me. And then instead of going about and just living our lives, knowing that that may happen, should happen, can happen, we sit around waiting for it instead of living the life that you've lived.
And well, I find that, say you have 5 major areas of experience. Well, some people will meet these 2, and then another one will meet this one, and then another one will meet this many. But you seldom find someone who meets all of them. And so that's why we need many people in our lives. We get this from Mary, we get this from John, we get this from Louise. You need these multiple facets met by multiple people.
Then if people are getting married or getting into relationships that are one-on-one, is that limiting them?
Only if the partner's not willing to allow you to have other relationships that meet needs that person cannot.
So what about monogamy?
I think that needs to be addressed by the individuals involved. What's right for me might not be right for Paula. And different cultures have different ways of doing that, and I think it's individual choice.
Certainly.
Why would I tell you what's best for you when I hardly know what's best for me some days? So we do vacillate, and we think we want something, but when we get it, it's like, oh no. And I often find that, I see it over and over, that when you're in the attraction stage, you're putting your best qualities out there. But underneath them are these other ones that once you get into an everyday experience, woo, there they pop.
It's an exciting time we're living in that I've been told by people, oh, we're seeing more polyamorous relationships. We're seeing more open relationships. I don't really know if that's true or if it's just that, like so many other things, people are talking about it and they're
Yes.
celebrating it instead of hiding it.
I grew up with secrets and silence.
How's that work for companion? How's that work in relationships?
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Communication is the bottom line. Don't expect me to know everything you want. Somehow or other, I missed that course.
I read somewhere someone said, how is he supposed to know what I want? Hell, half the time I don't know what I want.
Yes. Well, they will say, where would you like to go out for dinner? Oh, it doesn't matter. And they pick some place. Well, I didn't mean that.
Yeah.
It's so...
You've been in my car.
So it's, if you don't take the time and make the effort to know yourself, how can someone else know you? But there are some people that I know better than they know themselves. So, because I've had people tell me who I am and I just smile because they have no idea who I am. They see one little facet of me that they can connect with, but there's all these other ones. And in fact, I have a thing that I call human roulette. Like all of these aspects of our personality are on a wheel and we spin it to see who gets out. And sometimes that personality, that aspect is mature and other times it's not. And there are areas where we're learning. And so you want the experience. And so there are certain people that I wait to see who's there. What aspect of their personality's there before, so I know how to interact with them. Oh, she's here today.
So the more we learn about ourselves, the more we decide who we are, who we want to be, who we were meant to be. It then opens our eyes to what's going on around us with other people. Does that interfere with our relationships, particularly the intimate ones?
Of course. Of course.
So in other words, if we learn more about ourselves, it's going to be harder to have relationships?
No.
No.
The more you
I
learn
knew that
about
you didn't
yourself,
mean that, but
the more you see how multifaceted you are, you know other people are too. And then there are some things, some roles that people can play, but they refuse to play. Like being responsible for shopping.
do you find that annoying?
I find that I need to be flexible. We talk about exercising to keep our physical bodies flexible, but you must be flexible emotionally and mentally also. And so I do what I call script writing in my mind, so that I have words or actions available when so-and-so does this, I will do this. In other words, to counteract it, negate it, or make it that I can interact with it more easily.
That sounds like a lot wiser way of deciding what somebody else is going to be saying or doing, and then when they don't say or do it, finding yourself floundering or angry or
Well,
sad.
don't take it personal. None of it's personal. And if it is personal, it's okay. I finally realized that somebody's a big bully. And once I got that insight, no wonder I avoid them. And limit my interaction. You need to stay away from toxic people. Be around people who are more together, more aware, more knowledgeable about something than you are, so that you can grow in the experience. I learn new things every day. And it's not necessarily entirely new, but it's a better way. Or it's more fulfilling, or, everyone has to recycle their own garbage.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I agree with what you're saying. What would you say to those who would say, well, if you're excluding these quote-unquote toxic people from your life, aren't you missing out on a lesson there? Or what about if they have something to teach you?
Well, they're teaching me not to put up with their crap. Yeah, it's like, you see what you're doing. Oh, there's Dick doing his thing again.
God expressing as an idiot or whatever.
Yeah. Now, an 8-year-old having a tantrum, you don't take it too seriously.
Right.
Well, 60-year-old people have tantrums. And so why would you treat it any different? It's that person is not mature in that area. So why, I have a phrase, why would I take your direction when I must first honor your opinion? It's, and just because it's something that you enjoy or something that you want, doesn't automatically mean I want it. And so, if every gift you're given, if some gifts you're given that are not right for you, that doesn't mean you can accept them graciously, but you can recycle them. Just because somebody gives you 5 pounds of chocolates doesn't mean you have to eat them. So it's important to what you eat mentally and emotionally as well as physically. What am I taking in and ingesting?